All right, welcome back to Roundtail Restoration, everybody. As you can see behind me, fall is definitely upon us here in New England, so it's time to winterize my Triumph Spitfire. Let's see how we do it. Thanks for watching. All right, so a couple things to winterize the car. First, you want to get it washed, cleaned off all the dirt and the grime and everything else, all the road grime that you may have accumulated during the season, the driving season. You want to get that cleaned off. That's already done. I'm not going to show you that. You just do it. Also going to change the oil. A couple of things for that. Advantages to that. One, it gets you fresh oil in there, and any of the byproducts or wear products or the acidity that may have built up in the old oil over the season is going to get flushed out. You're probably well under a normal oil change interval, but then again, you are putting the car up, and good fresh oil will help. New oil filter goes without saying along with that. And then stable for oil or for fuel treatment, you want to get that. That'll keep the moisture out of the fuel, stabilizes it, and like it says, prevents corrosion and all that stuff. This Stable 360 is what I found. And then I am using, as you can see down here, I am using fabric softener sheets to try to keep the mice out. Now, I think that's a little bit of a wives' tale that it's going to work, but hopefully it will. If you guys know of a no kidding way to keep mice out of the car, without, I obviously don't want to put poison in there or anything like that, I'd appreciate it. But for now, hopefully that'll work. There is mice down here, little bastards inside this garage here, so it's something I'm going to have to watch out for. Obviously the car is still under the cover, and I've got to wheel it into the back, get it towards the back door. I'm going to start it, get it warmed up. While it's running, I'm going to put the fuel additive in there before I start her up, and that way the gas that's in there will get the fuel additive and get it all circulated through the fuel system so that everything gets covered with that stuff. Also, you'll notice that the car is on dollies. These are the simple Harbor Freight furniture dollies you can pick up for, I think they're 10 or 12 bucks now. They're a little bit more expensive lately because of all the issues we're having. What I did though is I took these apart and I added a little piece of plywood in the bottom, and what that prevents is the tire to fall all the way through them, because they normally have just an open bottom, and I didn't want them to pinch on the front and the back there, and didn't want that to impact the rubber and potentially crease it or something like that. So I put those little pieces of plywood in there. I did that well before I was running a YouTube channel, but I did do a blog post on it. If you want to see it, I'll link it in the description below. So I'll get the car out, roll it to the back, get the thing uncovered, obviously get it started up, do a once over, and warm it up so I can get the oil out of here. 20W50, it's only about 45 degrees in the garage right now. That stuff will pour like mud, so I need to get it warmed up to get the oil drained. So now that the car is moved, all I'm going to do here is, like I said, open the back doors, and I'm just going to use my vacuum hose and stick it over top of the exhaust pipe, and just run the exhaust pipe out back. A couple things you want to check. Just give the car a once over. I'm going to check under the seats to make sure that I don't have any mice in there. You can see, I think the footwell's a little dirty just from me driving it, so I still need to vacuum the car. Check the boot, check the bonnet. I had some mice indication under the bonnet not too long ago. So again, there's not much I can do down here as far as the mice goes. I hope that the fabric softener sheets at least help a little bit, but there's not going to be any substitute for taking the car cover off every once in a while and just giving a look in the car. Actually, you can see right there, there's some seeds and stuff, so definitely the mice have been checking this thing out. So hopefully I don't have any damage, but we'll see. All right, you also want to look for any obvious leaks or anything like that here. Need some good light, so fix that. All right, so thankfully no indication of any mice or anything except for that little bit up on the dashboard. I put a couple fabric softener sheets underneath each seat, a couple in the boot. Once the engine's all done and cooled off and everything, I'll put some up here. I had some underneath the heater valve. I had some acorns and stuff before, but no damage, nothing chewed or anything like that. Again, you just want to kind of give her a once over. It's pretty obvious when the guys have been in there. The little sons of, anyway, hook the battery up. Get the car started here, get it warmed up, let it run for a little while, and we'll go from there. Oh, put the fuel additive in and then start the car. All right, another thing with this is the side of the bottle. You can't see it on camera, but the side of the bottle is graduated. It's got little ounce markers on it. And another thing that's nice, because I just added an ounce too much, over-treatment is not harmful. All right, car's nice and warm, time to change the oil. One thing I failed to mention was checking the health of your radiator coolant. If you have one of those little Prestone testers or whatever, you can suck a little bit of the coolant into those things and see how good it is for cold weather. Obviously now that the car is warm, I don't want to go take the radiator cap off because it'll blow up and flash of steam. But car ran fine while it was sitting there. I jacked the idle up a little bit just to, one, heat it up a little bit faster, and two, so that the battery charges. It's an old generator on this car, not an alternator. So if the car's not running at about 1900 RPM or so, the battery won't charge. Another thing for the battery is if you have a battery minder, you want to disconnect the battery completely from the car and put it on the maintenance minder for your battery. My car charger, battery charger, has a minder function, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. Some people will take the battery out and bring it in their house or whatever. It all depends on how you want to do it. All right, so we'll go ahead and change the oil. It's not an oil change video, like I said, so I'm not going to show you how I do that, but we'll go ahead and get the oil changed and then check the coolant level at some point, probably not during this video, but then we'll be done. All right, everybody, that's all I got. Thanks so much for watching. Leave a comment below, tell me what you think. Well, hopefully good for about another 5 or 6 months here in New England. I'd be lucky to get out maybe late April or early May, just based on a good solid rain after the last snows and the salt on the road and all that kind of good stuff. But if there's anything else that you guys do to winterize your classic car, let me know. Please leave a comment below. And otherwise, hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for watching. Cheers.